I was reflecting on some areas of my life, and as I look back, I began to realize that I actually made the most money doing what I was always getting trouble for doing as a child and just like in everyday life as an adult. I am a talker. I talk a lot, okay? Talk a lot. And when I was 21, 22, I worked at a hair salon as a receptionist, and we had to sell the hairstyling products, the tools and the products. It wasn't necessarily like my job to sell the products or try to talk to the people about the products. It was just something that was like optional for me to do. It was actually the stylists who did their hair who were supposed to take them over to the product wall after they finished their hair and tell them about the products and ask them if they wanted anything. But none of the stylists were doing that. And so I would just kind of get into conversation with the clients when I would check them out. And like it would just be a natural conversation. And I would ask them, well, did you want to look at the product wall? And I would just tell them, I would genuinely just tell them about the products that I liked. And it was easy because I actually really liked the products that we had. I liked the way they smelled. I liked the way that they worked. I liked the effect that they had on my hair personally. And I would just talk about it. I would passionately talk about it because anything that I like a lot, I will passionately talk about it. And I will talk and talk and talk and I'll talk your ear off about it, okay? And I think I got like my first paycheck there after I started talking to people about the products consistently and they would buy them. And I remembered I saw like a huge bump in my paycheck and I was like, "What the heck? What's this?" And I saw that I was making literally hundreds of extra dollars just off commission. And I was just like, okay, well, of course I'm going to keep doing it because yapping about these products is making me extra money that I'm not even trying hard to make. It got to the point where I was like outselling everybody. And I think the only person that I wasn't outselling was like my direct boss, but everybody else was getting dusted, you know? And it got to the point where the district manager came to Philadelphia. I was living in Philadelphia at the time, but she came to Philadelphia to the salon. She was having a meeting with the stylists, and the managers and stuff like that. I was not a part of that meeting because I was not a stylist. And basically, she was like, "Why is Jaron outselling everybody? Why does Jaron have the highest sales?" And basically, she got on their case for not doing what they were supposed to be doing. They were all supposed to be taking their clients to the wall, but they weren't all doing that. They would just finish their hair, take them to me, and get ready for the next client. And so I would swoop in and sell them the product and take the commission, which was I was totally within my rights to do that. I wasn't being sneaky or anything like that. It was encouraged for me to tell them about the products if the stylist didn't do it. All throughout my life, when I was a kid, in school, in jobs that I've had where I was just there to really like just make money, I wasn't really necessarily there because it was my purpose. I noticed I would get in trouble the most for talking too much. It's really no shade to anybody who was on my case for talking too much, because not every environment calls for what you are meant to do. You know what I mean? Like, not every environment calls for the talkative version of me. And as a kid, of course, you don't really have the kind of restraint to just not talk. Good luck getting me to be quiet. Man, I remember one time in seventh grade, I got put in class suspension because I was talking to somebody who was in class suspension. I don't even know what we were talking about. He said something to me and I responded. I don't know. I think I think he like might have asked me for a pencil or something like that. I don't even remember what we were talking about, but it was just a quick. It wasn't a full conversation. It was just like a slight communication. And my math teacher, oh my gosh, she hated me. But she locked me up immediately. I had to face the wall. I was so like I just didn't get in I didn't get I might have gotten a talking to every once in a while, but I didn't get punishments like that. I didn't get locked up. I wasn't the type of person to get locked up. And so it was just like it was so dramatic. I wanted to cry. And I remember people would come in to the next period and they would be like, Jaren, what happened? Are you okay? Because they couldn't believe that I was locked up. It wouldn't let me out. They won't let me out. I'm locked up. Like, put some money on my books. I'm locked up, okay? But it was like crazy. And all I was doing was just like, just some light communicate, which is crazy looking back. Why is the punishment so harsh for talking to somebody who is in class suspension? I don't even know what the kid did, okay? To land him in there, but I got locked up because I was talking to him. But I was just thinking about how like oftentimes your purpose is along the lines of what you always get in trouble for, what you kept getting in trouble for as a kid or just growing up, you know, before you had the restraints and self-control to really kind of like temper yourself based on what environment that you're in. I'm just saying this really for myself that it's important to not trade your purpose for a paycheck because your purpose is much more important. It's who you are. Like without purpose, why are we all really here? I was thinking about Oprah and I remembered something I had read about her that she had said growing up, she was the talkingest child. Like she just talked a lot. But if you look at Oprah now, she's doing what she's supposed to be doing. She was made to talk. She was created to talk. And she's rich. She's so rich, okay? So yeah, next time somebody tells me to stop talking and be quiet, I'm gonna be like, look, I'm Oprah. Don't tell me what to do, okay? I'm basically Oprah. Personally, I'm somebody whose purpose is to use my voice. I mean, like talking, singing, writing blogs, writing articles, writing songs. It gets to a point sometimes where if I try to keep it on the inside, it starts to like burn me up on the inside almost. Like I have to get it out. I have to write it down. I have to say it. I have to verbalize it in some way. Yeah, I just thought I would share that. Hope it helps somebody think about what you were maybe always getting in trouble for, what you're passionate about, and you know, you might find some clues about what your purpose is.